Yasas, kalispera. Good afternoon, my dear friends. I'm Elena and you're watching Made with Yiayia. Today I'm going to show you an absolutely delicious marinade that really tenderizes and gives such beautiful flavor to your pork tenderloin. So I'm going to grab all my ingredients and get this delicious marinade together. Opa! As you always know, in any previous cooking I do, I always like to actually mix everything together when it comes to any kind of, whether it's marinades, salad dressings. Get all your ingredients in one, whisk them up, and then use them. So for this, we are going to start with 5 tablespoons of soy sauce. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our olive oil. One teaspoon of ground pepper. The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of actual ground ginger, but I decided to use fresh, and when I can, I do. So 1 teaspoon of grated fresh ginger. And I grated 2 garlic cloves. And our final ingredient is 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. You want to pack it on. 1 and 2. There we go. So we whisk all our ingredients together. Of course, we don't add any salt because the soy sauce has its salt flavor to it, but the pepper will give it a nice little bite. And our garlic, oh, the smells are just amazing. And there you have it. All we need is a Ziploc bag and, of course, a nice piece of pork tenderloin. This is really good. I cut off some of the fat, but you want to leave a little bit because that is what gives us flavor too, right? So I like to poke a few holes in it. Try and hold it here. Just so when the marinade is in there, it'll of course go right into the meat. And we can get as much of that delicious flavor as we can. Flip it over. Come on. There we go. So this had 2 pieces of pork tenderloin. So you're looking at about 2 to 3 pounds of meat, okay, for this particular measurement. So very simple. We just put both of our pieces into our bag. Give this one more little whisk, because sometimes when it sits there, some of the ingredients do settle to the bottom, right? And we dump it into our bag. And this is the fun part. We get to mush and mush and mush and squish. Move it all around. Make sure you get the delicious marinade on every side. You can even prepare this overnight. The longer it stays, the more those beautiful flavors are absorbed. But I find even day of, as long as you have about, let's say 5 to 6 hours, even in the morning would be good, so it'd be about 8 hours. It's always enough that the flavor is absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge until it's time for me to cook it in a few hours. And then I will, in between, just keep opening the fridge, keep kind of mushing it around, keep turning it around, so that way the marinade is constantly turned and it's getting into the little holes that we poked, and the pork tenderloin is absorbing it all. So I'll see you soon. In the meantime, as a side for this, we are planning to be making our Greek lemon garlic potatoes that will be roasted. And I'll have that link at the end also for those that haven't tried it yet. Then you'll be able to see this beautiful dinner come together. So our pork tenderloin has been marinating for a good 6 hours. As you can see, it's beautifully absorbed all of the delicious spices in our marinade. So all we do now is take it out, place it in a 9 by 13 baking dish. If I have any juices, I like to still just dump it on top because it's all going to get absorbed as it cooks. That's it. You don't add anything else, just whatever was in that marinade. And I'm going to cover it. Oven is preheating to 480 degrees, and we're going to leave it in the oven for a good 25 minutes. Open it up, check it. If it needs another 10 minutes or so, continue. If not, you don't want to overcook it. The pork tends to cook a lot faster than other meats, so you want it to be nice and tender and soft. So see you soon for the tasting. Our tenderloin is out of the oven. This is one of the pieces. The other one is still sitting there in the juices. As you can see, we made the lemon, the Greek style potatoes also. That goes great with this. I'm going to actually have a link at the end so you can actually refresh your memory on what an amazing and easy recipe that is. And I'm just gonna cut a little bit of this. You can see that steam coming out. Look at that. Looks really good, cooked perfectly. Now to taste it. A little bit of meat and a little bit of potato. Still kind of warm. It is so tender, so delicious. The lemon of the potatoes, everything just works and blends together perfectly. So please, my dear friends, check out this amazing recipe, connect, check the potatoes recipe, like, share, subscribe to the channel. You will not regret it. I'm Elena, and you've been watching Made with Yiayia. Opa!